What's up, Guru Nation? Let's demystify clinical research.
Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching and Instagram Live. Oh my gosh, we got a good one. The question in the comments, I had to reach deep within the grab bag of questions because topics weren't coming to me. So I reached very deep in the grab bag and I came out with this question that I get asked like a lot, way too much. I get it asked so often I forget to do videos. I've done videos in the past, but never this well produced like this one. So hopefully this is the final definitive video on this topic until the answer changes. Should I get a master's degree if I'm trying to get a clinical research job? So the answer is complicated. I know the short answer is no. All right. But the longer answer is it depends. So should you get a master's degree if you're just trying to get into clinical research? No. I'd rather you spend your time going to clinics, door knocking. Another person asked me this morning on LinkedIn, I've been trying to apply at sites because I watch your videos and it's still, no, don't apply. Go, just go. That was my answer to her. I said, don't apply, just go. Go, go, go. Same thing with this question, like, should I get a master's degree? A lot of times people ask these questions because they feel like they want to do something to help their career in order to avoid the uncomfortable work that is required to network to just get an opportunity. Like there's not a Yuma clinical trials everywhere that just is sitting around waiting for talent to show up. I literally am. Don't move to Yuma. You have to already live here. But the like that's a huge filter right there, right? Of who's actually going to just show up. Like who wants the job bad enough to just show up and say, "Hey, I know, like I apologize, but I really am interested in clinical research. I learned what you guys do. I think I'd be a good fit. Here's my resume. If you have time, I could talk now." Like that's uncomfortable. Who wants to do that? I don't blame you. But going into debt and getting a master's degree does not make you a more qualified entry level applicant. Matter of fact, it could even work against you. So not only are you going into debt and wasting more time, but it might be working against you at the entry level roles. Now, at the positions when you already have some experience, let's say you've been a coordinator for 2 years, let's say you've been a CRA for 2 years. Should I get a master's to advance my career in clinical research? I still don't want to be quick to say yes, but at that point, it's less of a risky bet of getting a master's degree. So, if you get a master's degree, you might be able to do psychometric rating skills. I actually have a master's degree, and I do some today at the site. I just did some psychiatric rating scales for a study. They usually want advanced degree holders who are also experienced in those scales. So it's a catch 22, chicken and the egg. You're not getting around that. All right. That's where a master's degree becomes maybe something to consider. Also, if you want to be a clinical trial manager, if you want to be a project manager, the master's degree becomes more attractive the higher up you climb in this industry. But I know the vast majority of these people asking me these questions, this person who posted on YouTube included, they're asking the question for an entry level role. And it's probably going to work against you. So even when I, like in Yuma clinical trials, when I'm sitting back looking at applicants for my jobs and someone applies with an advanced degree, it's kind of a red flag. I even asked them, like, well, you do realize what we're starting out on the pay, right? We accelerate our pays very quickly, but for someone brand new to research, like, you're overqualified. And I want to hear what the answer is. And so far from the people that have had master's degree that have interviewed with me at my site, They didn't even do the prep to understand what our industry was about. So, to me as an employer, that's actually risky because now not only do I have someone who doesn't know anything about research, but yes, they can grow into their role, arguably advance quicker than someone without a master's. But the risk I'm taking as an employer is they can also get hired by someone else outside of research. Like the local hospital can decide to hire them and they might jump because the pay doubled overnight. So I still, no matter what your degree is, I want to see for entry level positions the passion. What do you know about this? Did you actually do your homework on us, on the industry? Did you do your good clinical practice certificate? By the way, it's for free. Did you do your IATA certificate? By the way, it's free. The fact that you even know what those things are, to me, hiring entry level people is more important than a master's degree. Now, if I was running a CRO, which I am, but it's a very boutique CRO, but if I was running like a traditional CRO and that's all I did, of course, master's degree would be extremely valuable for me. But I'm not hiring entry level people if I run a CRO. I'm just not hiring anyone entry level. I'm sorry. No matter how much potential they have, I can't risk it at that level. And at those salaries that we pay as CROs, I can't risk it. So if you're asking, should I get a master's degree or should I just go out and get more experience at a site? The answer is always going to be from me, go out and get more experience. If you really want that master's degree, get it after you've established your career. 1 or 2 years in at a site, maybe you can even talk to your employer. I have one employee right now, she's considering finishing her bachelor's degree. And we're actually having like serious discussions. We joke around a lot, but we also have serious discussions. Shout out to Lana on whether she should get her bachelor's or not. And I walk her down the pathways of her possible career outcomes. Do you want to be a CRA? Do you want to be a site director? Because for CRA, it would be mandatory almost to have a bachelor's. And if you want to advance beyond that, probably even a master's. For site director, no, not at all. So, like, let's figure out what you actually want. And this is where the person asking me this question, you got to figure out what you want to achieve in this industry. Because if it's at the small site level, or let's say you want to own a site one day, save yourself the debt and the hassle. Don't get the master's. But if you want to be a CRA, you don't need a master's, first of all, to be a CRA. You need experience in clinical research to be a CRA. But if you want to be something higher up, like CTM, project manager, that's where those advanced degrees come into play. So I really hope I'm saving people time and stress and effort by giving this advice. The best thing you can do is start out at a site, work with your employer, figure out what you actually want to achieve. A lot of times, these companies will allow you, once you're experienced enough, to do a hybrid work and go to school. Some of these companies will even pay for your schooling. I know we're about to be in a recession, or maybe we're in one, and some of these CROs are tightening up, but it's not uncommon for sponsors and CROs to pay or at least contribute towards employees that they want to retain advanced degrees. And so why do that yourself when all you're really trying to do is go into uh, a research site to start your career? So I'm going to, before we finish this episode on YouTube, I'm going to grab my phone to see what the comments are and then go through some of these Q&A sessions. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want to join these live ones, Instagram, find me on Instagram, Dan Sfera, same name. So, some of these questions. Data coordinator here. Keep up the good work. For data coordinator, thank you. You don't need master's degree. Is this in response to my message? Maybe. It's literally, I get this every day. Most of entry-level research positions in Canada are being filled by master's students and even medical students. That's because in Canada, private industry is a little trickier than the United States, because in Canada, uh, it's not that common to see privately owned research sites. They're usually AMCs or hospitals. In the United States, this is absolutely the case. And you, even at academic medical centers, you won't see entry level roles being filled by master's degrees. Can someone with research experience and board certified as a CRC, but with a healthcare felony, become a CRA? Most likely not. Okay, if it's at a big CRO, they all do background checks. I even know people with misdemeanors who had a hard time getting CRA, and I'm talking about misdemeanors from traffic violations. So if it's a felony and from a healthcare felony, I would say no. CTM is my goal. I have a bachelor's and a master's. I'm so close to getting what I want. There you go. And that's the way to do it. So hopefully this helps people out there. No need for a master's degree. Just go out there, do the hard work, go on LinkedIn, go follow the people you need to connect with. Go connect with me on LinkedIn and the people that Brad, all the SOS people, come to SOS. Use that money to go to conferences instead and meet people. Go to your local ACRP meetups, go to your local SOCRA meetups, go to, I'm not even a fan of these conferences, but the SCRS conference, go to SOS conference. That's my own. I am a fan. Go to all the conferences. You're still going to be well under budget and higher ROI just doing that and meeting people than going to get a master's degree and still having to confront the harsh reality that you still don't have clinical research experience. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Short but sweet. Bye-bye.